And with that, I want to welcome everybody to Crashing Gaming. My name is Matt Diorio, your host. As always, tonight we are joined by the man formerly known as the champ, the beanied one, Gerard Barrera.
Hey, how's it going, nerds? What's going on? And how y'all doing? Hope you're doing well.
And we are joined by the babyface one, the man as the new champion, as the ring has
Reigning.
come.
I gotta go John Cena with this. You only see a floating ring, right?
Nice.
You me?
Theo Wolski.
What's up, everybody?
And
about time the current champ is in Colorado.
Right. And last but not least, the maitre d' of services, the man with the couch, the man, the myth, the legend, the lion's mane, Jason Bolletio.
How's it going, guys? How's it going tonight? Oh, man. Theo, first and foremost, congratulations on your first W, title reign. Just want to say congratulations again.
Yeah.
It was a long, hard-fought battle that I was not a part of for a good solid 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Got out pretty early on that, but it's all right, man. It's all right.
Yep.
It was fun.
I mean, that was a lot of fun, or I'm sure you had a lot of fun in jail that round.
God.
I mean,
Dude,
I
That one was
crazy.
four straight runs. We got around the board 4 times before you got the once.
That was insane,
man.
But it was a good trip. So let's talk about it, because we got a lot to talk about with LA Comic-Con and our impressions. We spent Friday and Saturday there at the convention center. And then Sunday was, of course, our Monopoly Day and hangout. But first and foremost, I want to say that felt really weird being there for the first time in 5 years.
Yeah, I think we all said it and felt it.
I didn't think it would hit as hard until we stepped foot through those doors for the first time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In West Hall.
Like, you guys knew kind of where we were. It took me, like, I was a little lost, and it took me a minute to be like, oh damn, okay, I know where we would be if it was, E3. Yeah.
Here's Nintendo, here's PlayStation,
yeah,
Xbox before they moved, and South Hall and all that. But yeah, it was weird. And I was even when I went to one of the panels and I was talking to Andrea Renee, she said the same thing. It was like the last time we were all there for gaming was 5 years ago. Like, it does not seem like it was that long that the last E3 happened. And it's missed, but we all know it's dead. E3 is dead. So predominantly we went on a mission for Theodorable, because he had a lot he needed to see, and we got to stand in an enormously long line for Christopher Lloyd.
I was definitely taken aback by how long that was, but at the same time I feel like it took a lot longer than I expected to, but that came to fruition once I saw how long it took Christopher Lloyd to sign a single signature. And the amount of people that we saw with multiple things, I mean, they were certainly taking the opportunity of this may not be one
like,
of his
I definitely
last few.
I remember what you mentioned, Matt. I definitely agree. There should be a cap. Like, I agree on like maybe 3 items at most. But damn, some people bought like bagfuls of shit.
Dude,
well, there was a family in front of me that brought in 4 guitars for him to sign.
So like,
that wasn't even the lot of it. Some dude brought a bag of like stuff that he paid for to get signed. Like almost like 8 items, man.
Yeah, but
it was ridiculous.
That's your right to do so, man. Like, if you if you were going to any convention and you want to see one person, You know, and
Yeah.
Well,
there's your
so,
big like
I
you're
mean,
their biggest
Christopher
fan.
Lloyd ain't gonna complain about somebody paying
no,
for
no.
8 autographs
No,
at
but I
250
don't
a
But I
know.
think
pop.
it's for
I mean,
for
that's
me where
$2,000
it
in a
is.
matter of 30 seconds.
I just think that's a bit excessive.
I mean, it might
I
be
think for
excessive for you guys, but I mean, like, it
But
could be
Jay, it
that
isn't just their
person's.
own personal memorabilia though. You could tell these were people that were coming to get a pop sign that were immediately going to go throw it up on eBay,
Well, I mean, that's hey,
and
that's a business too, man. That's a business too.
mhm.
You
Yeah,
know,
And
so like
Yeah,
but
it's worth.
I'm just saying for like
for
for
everybody else,
everyone
it was
getting
just there for
through,
like
like
single
the
autographs
line
that were
was
just
twice as long
fans.
because of
Like,
that.
yeah, but it's
Well,
like we saw it at like Fan Expo as well in Denver. Like there was people that would show up with tons and tons of pops just to get them all signed. Like,
But
but I
to, but
think,
but to like Jason's point and to yours, like the people with a fair amount, like we're still very fan or were huge fans. Like
mhm.
they
yeah.
definitely frequently had conversations with them. So it's not like they were
Even if
purely
they
there for
were
the
to
monetary
Yeah,
yeah,
motivation.
even if they were to resell it, you know, like things happen all the time. People
Yeah,
want to
I mean,
resell
it's
things.
anybody's business
Yeah,
it's a
business to do what they
business too.
want.
Like, you know, you're
I
spending
guess
your
I'm just
time.
speaking on if personally, I would put a cap of like 3 things so everyone can get through the line. But yeah, that was the only thing that we noticed, that it was just like, damn, like some people would pay for, you know, I'm sure someone brought like as many as 10 items.
Probably.
mhm.
Yeah,
Do
probably.
not
yeah,
doubt
it's
it, you
just.
know.
But it was interesting to see, and it was still fun. Still got to
Mhm.
have a little. Got to see Christopher Lloyd at at a good. Yeah, actually, he was
We
just
actually
like a
got to
few
see him
feet
right in
away.
person,
Yeah,
but
Yeah.
Theo actually got to say hi to him because they
Hmm.
told us, "Hey, by the way, Michael J. Fox is going to be signing autographs. It's now or never."
yeah,
Yeah, I
that was
So
the
really
last
appreciate
time.
having you guys with me because if I didn't have
we
that, I would have been screwed.
we went over there. Now that being said, though, we ended up waiting a good 45 minutes over there after we left. So we would have
Yeah,
actually had plenty of time to hang out with Theo, meet Christopher Lloyd, and go over to Mike J. Fox. But part of the reason it was delayed was just on the fact that um, they were giving him breaks. And when we got to actually go in and see him, you can tell that the Parkinson's has accelerated for him.
Definitely necessary breaks for sure.
Yeah. So honestly, for me, knowing his health issues, I had no problem waiting. It's like, oh, he needs a break.
Oh,
yeah.
fuck
Good.
no.
Go for it. He'd been there part of the day.
No, it was just very
So,
sweet
and
We
to
were literally
just
in
very
that
sweet to
room
meet him
for
and to see him. Yeah,
we were literally in that room for 5 hours, so we definitely know it was worth it.
yeah,
yeah. And, that with him too is he did, when we said thank you to him, he said thank you. And he also did point out Jerry's shirt for Philippe's
yeah.
that,
That
he
was
said
we
nice
had a nice
shirt,
little moment there. It was very cool,
and
and
you could tell that
totally appreciate it.
you could tell
Yeah,
that
it was very nice.
the Parkinson's hadn't taken who he was yet. He's still very much Michael J. Fox and,
Oh
interacting
yeah,
with people and thankful for his career. It's just it was hard seeing that because it's like for some of us, both Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd, we've grown up on them. We were kind of talking about, when we were waiting for Christopher Lloyd, the different movies we all remember in him. Like for me, it's like, Dream Team where he's part of the guys that break out from the insane asylum. There's,
Mhm.
Of course, You Framed Roger Rabbit, Back to the Future, Clue. You look at Michael J. Fox, I Grew Up in
oh
This
yeah,
Family.
Greedy,
Family Ties.
The Hard
Secret of
Way.
My
I love
Success.
that movie. I love that
You know,
movie.
yeah, except for you couldn't remember the name of it.
No, because I always caught it on cable for like the longest time, and then I would always catch it, and then it was one of those movies I would always watch, kind of like Shawshank. When The Hard Way was always on, I always watched it. So then I finally looked it up.
There you go.
Yeah.
And then while we were waiting for,
Oh, and Frighteners. Oh man,
oh yeah, love Frighteners, Robert Zemeckis. Then while we were waiting for Michael J. Fox,
early Peter Jackson.
Theo got to go over and meet Emily Swallow,
Oh yeah. Oh,
the armorer.
she is
That
the
was
way.
that was my second time.
Before Theo got over to us and realized he could go get Emily Swallow's autograph, Jerry was professing his love to her.
Oh,
Jerry also
she's
professed
gorgeous.
his love to Leah Thompson.
Yep. Oh yeah.
So,
easy. Love you. You're great.
um,
You're amazing.
Leah Thompson's so small.
Oh yeah,
So small.
she was kind of short, but she was so sweet.
I saw her while I was in line for Christina Ricci, and she was trying to she and Tom Wilson were like competing on who could get their line a little bit more riled up.
Oh, that's awesome.
Nice.
That's fun.
I thought it was really funny that he came out and talked to his line for a little bit and saw the line for Leah Thompson was actually a little bit longer than his.
Oh,
so he ended up addressing them. It was like, you guys need to get better taste in stars.
Called out hard.
I heard he's a funny, like he's very funny and like very personable in person,
yeah.
like a really nice dude.
He gave off like, granted, I didn't get to talk to him, but his interactions gave off like a big teddy bear type of deal.
Cool.
Right? Like he wasn't he wasn't like trying to scare anybody off or anything like that.
Right,
it wasn't too serious or anything. He was having a great time. He was having fun.
Awesome.
And then we got later on that night we got James C. Who plays not only Cabbage Man in The Last Airbender, which I had to be briefed on that, which Theo got his autograph on his pop. And then he's also Hojo in Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth.
Also the sweetest man, like the nicest guy. We had a wonderful conversation with him, and yeah, he was super cool.
Also, and we did get him.
He asked us more questions than we asked him.
Correct.
Yeah.
We did get him added to the book.
Yeah.
Nice.
And he wrote in it, once a scientist, always a scientist. He. And honestly, I could hear Hojo's voice as he was writing it.
Nice.
Oh my god! Every time we've read that so far, I keep on thinking of that viral TikTok sound of it. Was like when I type he, it's not he, it's he.
But yeah, no, James C was awesome. Like we got he asked a lot of questions. He asked, like when we were talking about the podcast, he's like, "Do you enjoy doing it?" Like, I was like, that's the first person that's actually really asked, "Hey, do we still enjoy doing this?" Right after, this is episode 295 that we're recording tonight.
Wow, like 295.
295. We've done 295 episodes since 1/1 of 2019.
That's insane.
And
jeez, I think we're getting close to my limit, man. I mean, like right around 299. I think I'm sick of you guys.
Shit, well, fine. You want to be here for 300? Go for it. You're like, see ya. We don't need you. Jerry and I can do this. No, it's
thanks for inviting and like letting me in on that too, Matt. No worries.
Because you're it doesn't matter. All of you are supposed to be there.
Yeah,
all of you gonna be there at 300. Yeah, baby.
Need to be. Anyways, but no, it was great, like just interacting with him. And then we headed over to South Hall to go see our good friends of the show, Eric and Julia Leewald, who had a booth over there on the floor. Right there with Larry Houston, which was part of the original team for X-Men. He's consulting on X-Men 97. We got to meet Guy Augustini, who plays the voice of Sunspot, Holly Cho, who plays Jubilee, JP, who plays Morph. They were all there. Catherine,
all incredibly
was the original
nice.
Voice of, Jean Grey was there as well. I can't believe they had that many of them though crammed in that little small booth though.
I was really surprised that they were they were in a corner like close to either the vendors or Artist Alley. I forgot what side we were on, but I was kind of surprised they were like tucked somewhere like in the middle of the hall. Well, I was surprised it wasn't bombarded, man. Like season 97 was great and it was popular.
And I did come home with this. Thank you, Theo, for this wondrous gift.
Very well.
And not only did I get the book, which has been on my want list ever since I got Jerry one for a gift. we got it autographed not only by Eric and Julia, but also Larry Houston as well, who we are getting everything scheduled so he can be on the show. So we talked talked to him about his pieces of it. Which like when
And
we were talking
man,
about him,
Larry
dude, that's
Larry is like a
Saturday.
kindred spirit. Like, man, the moment you get him talking about X-Men or even show him something, like he's already going in. This is how we were able to. So we flipped these scenes, and then we did this. Like it was so odd. Like
He's
it was
like, hey,
just
this
so much fun
storyboard right
talking to
here.
him.
Like it
Yeah,
was great. That was a great conversation that Saturday because we came to get your book signed, and he just kind of flipped right to it, and he's like, these were the storyboards.
yeah,
He's
yeah. That
like,
was
we
so
took this
cool.
out and this out, and I wanted all these other people in it, but we couldn't. We had to cut it. So he was great. So we are working on getting Guy scheduled up as well, and Holly if she's available. So of course, adding to the X-Men folks we've had on the show. But yeah, and then Sunday or Saturday rather, that was our big day because Friday was kind of like a half day for the show in itself, right?
Yeah.
So Saturday, we made Theo ditch us because we were in the
Thankfully,
line for parking.
I thank you guys for talking me to leaving.
Yeah, because it took a
Um,
lot longer than we anticipated for to get into the parking structure.
I mean, first it started off as like, are you gonna be even done with Christina Ricci by the time we get in? Like,
Yeah,
Right.
and then we went, so once we finally got parked, I went directly for Troy Baker because he was my one and only
Rightfully so. Rightfully so.
that I wanted to be there for. And Troy was running late because of said traffic outside on
that's
on
so funny.
Figueroa and whatnot, and an Olympics. So he, by the time we were even got moving, Theo finished off Christina Ricci and Amy
Yeah.
Jo, the
Yeah,
Pink
that's
Ranger.
right.
Yep.
And then you went and stood in one other line over there too, right? Mina Wen, right?
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Cavalry. You finished Mina Wen before we even finished
Yeah, you did.
with Troy Baker. Because we weren't waiting long.
You guys finished just short after I did because I was on my way and you guys were done.
Yeah.
Yep. So Troy Baker, I will say this, it was great talking to him. Like he was super nice. We were sharing,
Very
sharing
personable
with him.
he was really cool spending a few minutes with everybody. I kind of felt like he kind of spoke to us for about 10 minutes. Like we kind of got into we kind of got into a convo with him, and then we kind of the line was kind of getting backed up, so it was kind of funny. But he started talking to us.
Yeah,
started feeling those eyes behind you, going like, "Hurry it up!"
Yes,
Yeah.
So you guys are being hypocritical and being like, "Oh, those guys taking forever, making the line long." Okay,
one item, sir.
It's not even the matter of number of items; it's just taking forever.
We can't handle our riz, baby. We got
but
too
it was
much
one
riz.
of those things
that happens.
I told him what Uncharted means to me, what it meant to my life, and everything like that, and shared with him that Nolan signed my art book last year at Fan Expo. And I was like, he's like, okay, what did he sign? I was like, Sic Parvis Magna. He's like, okay, are we doing that one? Or do you want this other? And he did I don't remember the Latin quote from Uncharted 4 that he gave. But I was like, what's your reference? Yeah. That was supposed to be there in time for Theo to go over there too, but it didn't go.
It delivered the morning of we were standing in line for autographs, and while you guys were with Troy, and of course my Joel doesn't show up until then.
But anyways, so he's like, no, I want to do Sic Parvis Magna. I was like, okay. He's like, because he's like, screw that guy. I taught him the line. So I'm gonna do it. And sure enough, he ended up, and I compared this and I sent you guys a picture, but he signed it exactly where I've got Nolan Norris autograph with Sic Parvis Magna.
And especially with it being playful and everything, you still figure not many people are going to say, screw Nolan North. What?
Not unless they're good friends. So,
yeah.
And then autograph wise, Theo, you moved on to, so we had Erica.
Yep. Erica
Lindbeck. Who some of us know her as Jessie in the Final Fantasy VII remake project, but
also very Theo, sweet, very nice.
You went there for another reason. For Demon
Slayer. Plays Ducky in the entertainment arc.
Yep. So with that,
Jason,
that
you've seen that. You've seen the entertainment arc, right?
I'm on it right now. I'm on it.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Oh, cool.
That's where I left off.
Oh, okay.
And then after that, you moved on to somebody else because I went to the panels.
Yeah.
Right after that, I went over to the. Go ahead.
Yeah. Right after Erica, Jerry, and I went over to Todd Habercorn, and he ended up needing a bathroom break right as soon as we got to the table.
Oh yeah.
But we ended up having a fantastic conversation with his wife, just shooting the shit and like talking about cons and their favorite things and what they experience and it was really just a great conversation. And I mean, talking about your Jerry's meta glasses, and transitions and things, just a true nerd out conversation, which was really awesome. It was cool. So we enjoyed that,
and hopefully we'll have them on the show too.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
After that was Johnny Young Bosch. I got him for Bleach.
That was super cool.
Demon Slayer, Power Rangers,
the Black Ranger. Yeah.
Yep.
Nero.
So Theo was the one showing up with multiple items to be signed.
I only had three.
And they weren't even full items. They were just the sleeves.
Yeah.
Yes, they were just
which still, by the way,
still makes it so much easier.
Commend you by the method. The method is just so clever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the only two ones that I did multiples of was Christina and Josh.
Oh, cool. Which were all were awesome because the Wednesday ones and the Casper were sweet. Those are cool.
Yep. And then I went to a podcasting panel that was hosted by a gentleman named Joe Slepsky. He actually hosts the Joe on Joe podcast, which is a podcast dedicated to G.I. Joe.
Sweet. That's cool.
Yeah, the guy's super great. I've started listening to one of the more recent episodes, just kind of see how it is and stuff like that. And he's knowledgeable. Like he knows his stuff. Sweet. And you had Elise Williams, who is a host of 30 Morbid Minutes. Who she used to actually be at Rooster Teeth before Rooster Teeth folded. And I have to give props. I want to say props to Warner Brothers, who Rooster Teeth was under Warner Brothers Discovery. When they closed up shop, they gave everybody the rights to their shows.
Oh, cool.
That's awesome.
So everybody could just keep doing their shows and whatnot. Then you had Ray Casillo, who is part of the podcast Geeks Who Like Sports.
Cool.
John Carl, who hosts Cyclops is Waiting for Me, which is an X-Men podcast.
Ooh.
So I've got that teed up to start listening to that. They've gone through all of original X-Men, X-Men 97. They're on X-Men Evolution now.
Ooh, nice.
Talking through all those shows.
Great show. Great show.
You know, there's like talking about at least like her show, like the latest episode is, did the Curse of the Nine kill history's greatest composer? So that's like the kind of things that they talk about, is like, you know, urban myths, stuff like that. And then also had Jonathan London, who is host of Geekscape, which has pretty much been around as long, if not longer, than Danny Pena with Gamertag Radio. And then finally it was rounded out by Andrea Renee, who hosts What's Good Games. We've talked about her in the past. They finally sunset that show because they just decided to go be moms and go do life. However, she did remember me. She did not bring up the rope diving incident, but she said she remembered me. We talked for a
So
good,
hilarious.
10, 15 minutes after the
I feel like that needs to be a question if we ever have her on the show. Is her score for you on sticking the dismount of going through the lines?
Oh, I give it a 1.
I was just hoping
just
she would have mentioned like,
how
the rope guy.
graceful
The rope guy. I
So to get some
remember you.
context,
I would have
let's
like
talk-
that would have solidified the joke. Like I would have just, dude, you
So
got to
here's
tell
the
that
thing.
story forever. Oh, the rope guy. Like, oh
Yeah.
shit, that would have been awesome. If
I
you
will.
remember.
So we were talking about this, right? And I had to, kind of refresh everyone's memory. Like E3 2019.
Yeah.
This is when South Hall was empty at that point, right? Like half the floor was empty, like literally
Yeah.
empty.
The line that we were in, we chose because it was so short, and we were like, let's
go check out Lego Star Wars,
exactly.
Skyward Saga.
Yeah.
And they had the rope, like everything set up, so it wasn't you entered and you literally zigzag.
We had to zigzag
all the way up to the
They didn't even
front.
edit the line. They were just they had nothing
Yeah.
going on. That they were like,
So-
no, just go through the line.
we're sitting there, and I've been a huge fan of Andrea's since they started What's Good Games. Which was a podcast that originally they started out as it was an all-woman show that was geared towards bringing more women into gaming, right? And to talk stuff like that. She was saying by the end of the thing, so their demographic was still like 80-20 men to women, in terms of their split. But so here she is, she's walking by, she had surgery not too long before that, and she was still using a walker and stuff. And I saw her and I wanted to meet her, and I literally, instead of zipping back and forth and trying maybe losing that moment, I dove under the ropes. I just
which in theory
it
does sound crazy, but it really is the more like I feel like the more smart play. Like why would you go zigzagging through the line? Like no.
But it was a great podcasting panel. I learned some stuff from it.
Very cool.
And heard some really funny stories and whatnot.
Did you get to speak to?
Oh yeah, Andrea and I spent a good 10, 15 minutes after the panel. That's why I was ignoring you guys. Like you guys were trying to call me. I'm like, nope. Sorry. So hopefully when she gets the itch, we can have Andrea on. It was great. But yeah. And then after that, we kind of walked the show. We actually walked, South Hall and went to Artist Alley, which there were some amazing artists there.
A lot of good stuff.
Am I the only one that actually walked away with actual like pieces of art?
Yes, I only walked away with pins.
Yeah, I didn't get anything.
So we met one of the artists there was her name's Agnes Garbaska. She has been part of and working on Care Bears, My Little Pony, Gem and the Holograms, DC Superhero Girls. She worked with Marvel on the Spider-Ham 25th anniversary edition. She's also worked on cover art for G.I. Joe, Transformers, Dexter's Laboratory, Powerpuff Girls. Wow. So I ended up buying a couple pieces.
Oh yeah,
boys.
Yeah, that was a good find. And the glimmer paper is super cool.
Which you can totally see the whole, Powerpuff Girls and Dexter's Laboratory and all of that in her artwork. But it is amazing artwork that that hopefully I may actually buy more if she's got an online shop of hers, because I like her work. Some of the other stuff I've seen. If not, next time we're at a con, I'm gonna hit her up and buy some more pieces. Because it wasn't bad either.
Since you and I had talked about this, because we walked by that one that had all the water Pokemon. That was super cute. But she didn't have fire. So there's another artist that I caught in Colorado Springs. And it's too bad she didn't get to make it to Los Angeles. But she has a really good one. She's called Reboops. And here's water and fire for you.
That looks a lot like the one
Cool.
that we saw there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Those
I
are
like
awesome.
those. I like it.
Yeah.
Of course,
Oh,
I have
that's
to have
cool.
all three
Oh,
starters
I
colors, so I
love
gotta
it.
have the green too.
That's cool.
Nerd. Anyways, so overall, I mean, with everything we saw, everything we did, um, how do we feel about LA Comic Con? Do we do it again?
Hell yeah.
I'm totally down to do it again. I think if it falls under like a schedule that we could do, totally. I also wouldn't be like saddened if we missed out, but it was super fun. And yeah, and like I said to you guys before, it kind of got me into like maybe looking into the autograph scene, and maybe dusting off a few old collectibles or some art books that I have, and maybe like personalize them a little bit, and that would be super cool. Because I like your idea, Matt, of getting both the art books signed the way they were. Like, it kind of gives me some ideas, and I like it. But I think I think I'm going to be super selective of what I do. It's not going to be very much, but
Yeah.
I did really enjoy all the interactions because it was super cool, and Michael J was like I probably never would have gotten that chance, and
No. And
that
honestly,
was just super cool to see him, dude.
we may
It really
never have that
was.
chance again.
Yeah. And like with Christopher Lloyd, to see them, and like to be like 5 steps away from Rosario Dawson, and just to bask in that beauty and aura. Oh my
Except
God.
I got to talk to her again.
Oh yeah. Because I went to Michael J's line, but lucky dog.
I wasn't supposed to. Apparently.
I know. I heard. That was funny. The security person was like, yeah, he wasn't supposed to do that. Wasn't supposed to do that. But yeah,
I kept my distance from her. It's not like I went right up to her face or anything.
But I mean,
that.
at least the staff person was doing her job. She wasn't just like, okay, one guy do it. I can't let everybody be doing this.
Yeah.
So Theo, as the one among us that has done Fan Expo, has done LA Comic Con, and has done San Diego Comic Con.
Well, it's Colorado Springs this year. I did 4 this year.
Okay, Colorado Springs. Okay, I guess it's a con.
I still feel like it had a good turnout. It was Colorado Springs was definitely very small, but I feel like it still had a good turnout in stars wise, since it had 9 out of 10 of the big voices in Avatar. I still feel like it got some good stuff out there.
So which do you prefer out of the 4?
Honestly, purely due to the space available and how it was laid out, I would actually say I like LA better.
Really?
Because I mean, like, I liked the amount of room we had to walk through, especially since
the lanes were awesome.
A larger Comic-Con than Fan Expo Denver, I would say. Because like when we walked through the booths and everything at Fan Expo, it's just like always these traffic stops and just squeezing and then everything.
Outside of this year, when they opened up more of the floor than they did last year.
I thought it's still tight though.
Yeah. Okay.
Compared to San Diego, I would definitely say like that was the most noticeable thing. Like especially when you mentioned it, I would say like, this is nice. Like,
yeah,
this is
even though
nice.
San Diego is super tight and everything. But like, and like with Jerry's point, it's like I really like these 3 a little bit more than SECC San Diego, because you get that interaction with the celebrities during the autographs. Whereas like, yeah, you have some autographs that you can do at San Diego, but I mean, like San Diego seems more on the like announcements and everything. Is like in those kinds of experiences, which is still freaking awesome, and we have so much fun, especially in Hall H. But I would say out of the 4 that I've done this year, my top one's going to be LA.
Okay.
Wow.
So with that also, over the weekend while we were there, we actually had some Xbox news break.
Uh-oh.
I know we don't normally talk PlayStation, we normally don't talk, or we normally talk rather PlayStation and Nintendo. We don't talk Xbox, but I'd be remiss if we didn't talk about this because this is actually kind of huge for Xbox fans and more specifically for Halo fans.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, that
Yep.
is okay. I got you. I got you.
This was awesome, actually. Yeah.
So, news broke that 343 Studios is no more and is getting rebranded as Halo Studios. They're going with a new name, new, like as it says, new name, new engine, new games, new philosophy. So they've got multiple games that are in the pipe right now. And I think the biggest thing outside of a name change from 343 to Halo Studios, which honestly, just because you're putting a new shiny coat of paint and a name on it, doesn't necessarily mean the games are going to be great. So I think everybody
Did you
hold
look
on.
more into?
I have, but here's the thing is though, it's still most of the same crew, right? So let's look at everything from the top down with us, right? So the big thing is they are changing over to Unreal Engine 5. So they're getting rid of the Slipstream engine, which is what caused all the problems with Halo Infinite in the first place.
Which was also 343's in-store
in-house
engine, in-house engine.
Correct.
Yeah.
And that is something they were saying they had to dedicate a high amount of staff to upkeep of the engine, make sure it's working with the tech stacks and everything like that. So they did show off video and everything like that. And we all know Unreal Engine 5 is ridiculously gorgeous for an engine. So with that, they're hopefully going to have some better output. They're not going to have as much staff to dedicate to the engine because frankly, it's coming from Unreal. It's their engine. If there's something wrong with it, they'll, just like anybody else that's got a third party agreement, they'll go to them and say, hey, you need to fix this.
And hopefully they can put more of that staffing into like, better writers, graphic, all that. Yeah.
What I didn't know is, so Chris Matthews, the studio art director, he was saying is like part of Slipspace is 25 years old. Think about that.
Oh, wow.
Like it goes back to Halo 1.
That's pretty impressive that it held up that long.
Yeah.
It was old last century. It was last century, man.
Fuck off. I'm not that old.
It's true. Last century.
We're all that old. What are you talking about?
1999.
No. Halo came out in 01.
But still, last century. We're all that old. Yeah. Last millennial. Last millennium. We're all that old.
Right?
When did Halo
come out? Thank you, Theo.
You're welcome.
But even still, 1999. Yeah, things.
Yeah, I thought it was 9901.
No, Halo came out in 2001, and I remember this because I was going to.
First release Halo Combat Evolved was November 15th, 2001.
Yeah.
Yep, it was, and I can remember that because I was going up to the University of Northern Colorado, and it was right after 9/11.
Oh shit! Yeah,
it was 6 weeks after 9/11 that game launched. So, anyway, so honestly, yeah, it looks pretty. Don't get me wrong. That's just unreal, but it, they showed off this thing called Foundry, which is, it's not really it's not a new game, it's not a tech demo, it's just kind of them kind of throwing in what they can have everything look like, and yeah, it's pretty.
I think I have a little bit more hope with the company putting more resources in other groups, other areas of the company, and hopefully they'll put their focus on, they'll refocus on story and adventure and some new actual IPs, and from there, then that's, they're really taking the gamble on themselves instead of resting on their loins if they're coming out with another Halo game. I want to see some new stuff. Let's see some new stuff with this new engine. Like, be creative. Like, I want you guys to succeed. I want to see stuff. I want to see new.
I mean, the detail's great, but here's my thing is like they need the fans of Halo deserve Halo. They need to come up with either A, just reboot everything, bring us back to scratch, at this point, or B, they need to come up with something substantive that is part of the Halo universe that expands it, instead of just basically taking Halo 1 and putting a shiny coat of paint on it and calling it Halo Infinite. Because at its base, right, when you play through the story of Halo Infinite, it is pretty much Halo 1.
Open world.
Well, just more open world, but
Yeah.
it's kind of the same type of mechanic or same type of story, right? It's kind of
Oh
like,
yeah, I didn't get to play
this.
it. So yeah.
I hate to say it, it felt like Force Awakens and New Hope.
Interesting.
Oh, like a cross between the two, or
kind of like, so think about this, right? A New
or
Hope
in comparison
and Force Awakens in comparison, right? You look at both of those, right? It's still kind of the same story, still ends the same way, where you got to go blow up the Death Star, which in this case it was inside of a planet instead of a space station, right? It's the same type of thing. Like, it's almost the same story,
So it was almost a carbon copy.
Almost. That's the way I felt.
Okay.
And I know they've done a ton of work on Halo Infinite since it launched. And the multiplayer is pretty great now. But overall, I think for the longevity and success of Xbox to be able to go beyond Game Pass and actually have, Jason, say it,
have an exclusive, finally.
Have exclusives to actually sell your damn console, which is not selling. You need Halo. You absolutely need Halo. It's like, honestly, Halo and Xbox is like Mario and Nintendo.
Yeah.
It is when you think of Xbox,
well, it's the foundation it truly is the foundation of the company, regardless of when it came out, or it set the map on so many things, including online shooters. It set the map for Xbox and Microsoft. They have essentially a mascot, and they're still using a character from the game in their physical world products. So I mean, yeah, I totally agree. And I think that's a great idea. I say, like, reboot it, but back to my point, like, okay, but like, once again, new. You know what? Do it. Like, go for the reboot or bring out something new. Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. So I think more so is the fans deserve it. They deserve to have Halo back. Just like they deserve to have a great Gears of War. They deserve to have great Forzas, which right now, great Forzas is pretty much all they're really doing right now. So I really hope, for the sake of their fan base, they get Halo back to where it should be.
Yeah, I mean,
because
so in essence, both of you are kind of saying, like, stop prioritizing making it pretty, prioritize making it fun.
I would say
you can still make it pretty, but
yeah,
but it doesn't have to be pretty.
No, but I think the biggest
be
problem is the story behind the games, there's no imagination. They're just, it just seems like they're just shelling out game. Okay, that one looks great. Is it already done? Okay, finish it and we'll send it out. They're not bringing out the games that they used to.
They have not had a great Halo game since Bungie left.
Easy.
Straight up.
I mean, they're gonna redo themselves in Unreal Engine. They're taking off all the rust off, all the dust and cobwebs.
That's what I'm hoping. But
all you gotta do, was it Halo Studios now?
Yes.
Halo Studios. All you gotta do, Halo remake. That's it. Halo remake. That's it.
Go back. Go back to where it all began.
Now's the time to do it because everybody else is doing it. So it's, yes, you are jumping on that bandwagon, but at the same time,
do we think necessarily remake or something
I think
remake.
reboot.
Because I
think
feel like
reboot.
when we talked about Final Fantasy VII remake, there were certain things that we didn't really like about.
Oh yeah, of course.
With the remake, because I mean, mechanics being changed and
Okay,
little
but no
story
game is ever
changes
going to
here or
be
there,
like
but
100%
like
perfect for everybody. No game is. I still to this day will not actively buy unless it's on a ridiculous sale any shooter. I've only bought one shooter in the last decade, and that's Division 2, only because it was one of my
it was still
coworkers
third person
playing
too.
it. Matt and Jerry stopped playing it. You know, what else?
So he
It
said
was
to go
on
play with other
sale.
people.
Ouch.
It was on
Yeah.
sale
I feel
for
like you just gave the reason that you
$10.
got it was because they
Ouch.
stopped playing.
No,
That hurt.
That is
I
what
know,
you
I know.
said,
a
sir.
shot. That was just a shot.
I know that was a shot.
But like it was $10 for both the Division 2 and the DLC. So it's like, yo, like, all right,
Oh yeah.
sure. Like that's the only time I've ever bought a shooter. Does my library have any other shooter? Nope. The only closest one is Dirge of Cerberus, and that was PS2. I mean, could you call that a shooter? Yeah, sure,
Maybe.
maybe.
That's like kind of a Devil May Cry. I don't really think that's an action adventure.
No.
Exactly. And like
Yeah.
I like even Darksiders is the top down with I still never gotten that. And I love the Darksider series. I just never got that one because it's too much of a shooter.
I didn't like the top down either.
Yeah, me neither.
I didn't like top down. But I mean, like Uncharted is not a shooter, even though there's tons of shooting.
Shooter, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
action adventure.
Still third party. All that
So
stuff,
I mean, like for them to actually have like this game where it's just remake it. Now is the time to do it, and you won't get criticized as hard for it. You'll either be praised or you're gonna shut down the company. That's it. Like you gotta swing for the fences now. I mean, when's the last time any big Xbox news has come out? Well, aside from this weekend.
True.
You know, so you
Well,
gotta
good
swing for the
news.
fences.
Yeah.
Also true. Yeah.
Go big or go home.
Yeah.
At this
that's
point,
it.
just don't make a game based on the TV show.
Oh God.
Yeah. I mean, that's why
Don't.
Halo remake, Halo Rebirth, Halo redo, Halo
Redo.
No,
Yeah.
don't go that far
Redo.
because
Redo.
you know,
Even with the French spelling, DUX.
Yeah.
because the Joker
Yeah.
sequel is getting
Halo. I
reamed,
don't know.
So
like,
yeah.
so
I was
many
so
things
sad about that. That was a bummer.
So that's all they need to do is just
Okay.
remaster it, not remaster it, like remake it. Like let's like bring them back. OG. This is how
Give
the
us the
guys
beginning.
got on here. You know, give a little backstory.
I will still preface that it is a lot harder than it sounds when you just say just remake it.
Nah, I don't think so, man.
I know we all think. I would imagine we all think that it's still really hard to do that, but. I mean, if you're remaking it, you're overhauling it. It's not like just a remaster where you're just making things look prettier for the exact same fucking game.
Yeah. So we did you know, I will say this, we didn't all get to play a ton this weekend. I know we've been playing a little Echoes and stuff, but real quick, I want to give an anime recommendation because of a show that the boys turned me on to.
Nice.
That I'm going to finish.
Nice.
That's why I called you to find out exactly where we were, Jerry, because you had
sick.
The files.
Yeah.
Solo leveling
6.
Yeah.
is fantastic, and I recommend it wholeheartedly.
Agreed.
And we all know I am the least anime person on this podcast.
Yes, you are.
Yeah.
Yes, you
Yeah.
are.
The fact that you were like, dude, I like it. Like, oh, sweet, dude. Yeah.
I was like,
you
next
kept
episode,
going.
please.
Yeah.
Next.
And season 2 is coming soon, I guess, right?
Yeah.
I love the
Sweet.
concept. I really do.
Yeah. It was definitely one that I fell in love with too this past year at Comic-Con, and I have rewatched since then. And awesome, dude! I'm so glad you liked it.
Yep. Enough for me. I signed up for the trial for Crunchyroll just so I could go finish watching it.
Sweet.
Nice.
However, you will not catch me going with One Piece. I will stay away from that with a 100-mile.
I do recommend the live action on Netflix, though. I do
even with One
recommend
Piece,
that.
it's true that they're making an abridged version, so it's going to be out next year. So I mean,
What? It's
if
only
you
gonna be 500
decide that you want to,
episodes.
I don't know. I've actually heard rumor that it's less than 300.
Wow. I'm gonna
Wow.
have to
Oh,
give it a chance
nice.
All right.
again.
Okay, I might do that. I might
And
try
again,
that.
like, yes, I think it's like when it first started, and like, when it like back in 1950,
I gave you way too much. I thought you hit like I thought you hit like 300
oh no,
episodes.
dude,
Oh,
no. I mean,
like
like,
44.
I get
It
it.
was like
There's a
44.
ton of
He
story.
made
There's
a good
more
dent.
story
Yeah,
in
that's a
there
good
than
dent.
like it's just ridiculous. A ridiculous amount of story. Like each character, and like I said, I haven't even finished collecting all the people on the boat. Like I got like maybe 4 or 5 people in, and like each of their
And
story arcs.
they get to those pretty quick too.
And no, quick. Each story arc is like 10 episodes, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, this guy, I don't need to know this much about this guy.
Got like a good 200 gap until you get to the next addition to this boat.
That's so funny.
And I mean, like I had the last one was Sanji, and like Nami quit the boat, and then she got back on the boat, and then she quit the boat again, and I'm like, now she's with the shark people. Like
So
you learn the
you
whole
only got to the
backstory.
fishman?
Yeah, that's where I stopped. I got there, I was like, yo, I'm done, man. I'm done. I'm done. Like, because it's
That's
Yeah,
just too
so
funny.
much.
you got
That's
the
funny, man.
base group. You're not even the extended group
Yeah,
yet. You still
yeah,
got
exactly.
you got Chopper, and that's gonna be like another 100 episodes to get
250
to
episodes
that.
away.
Between that, you still gonna end up getting Nico Robin,
Yep.
Frankie, Brooke. Yeah,
Look at
you
that.
got a while, man. You got a while.
Yep. So I mean,
Yeah.
like, yeah, I feel you on that, Matt, on the One Piece, the One Piece.
That triggered something a little bit.
Oh, I got hard triggered.
That's
Man,
funny.
like, I don't know, it's rough.
Oh, and I
All right,
started.
Okay, well, since Matt's potentially more open to recommendations, and see if I know Jerry loved this one. Jason, have you seen Rising of the Shield Hero?
I'm 50-50. Like, I kind of feel like I would like it, but I feel like if I don't like it, I'm gonna be pissed.
First season was awesome.
Okay.
I'm starting the second season.
It's a toss up right now. Like
it was cool, but
I like it for such a different run on an isekai story. I know you're way over isekai right now.
I'm over isekai
but it's
right now,
such a different isekai story than normal that we're used to. I think I would highly recommend.
All
right. So with that though, I want to thank everybody for crashing game night. Yeah, if you like what you heard, please drop us a follow on the platform of your choice. Head over to crashinggamenight.com to find the platform of your choice. Words are hard today. But just with everything going on, especially with another hurricane getting ready to hit the southeast part of the country, please be excellent to each other.
That's right, all my nerds. Once again, we want to spread that same message. Also, we didn't mention had a great time with Will at dinner during this weekend. If you're listening, thank you again, man, and it was great seeing you. But also, all you fellow nerds, let's once again try and do and be better. Let's try to help whoever is in need, or if you feel that just needs to be listened to or needs a hug, needs a helping hand. Let's just try to help out and be better than we are right now, because once again, it's still getting crazy out there. The election's getting closer and closer, and everyone's opinions are getting more and more important to themselves, to where we need to, practice a little patience and just be a little kinder. So let's just be safe out there.
I felt just a little disdain in that, with the whole people's opinions is getting more important for themselves.
Well, it's not disdain. It's to show that everybody's opinions matter. Sometimes when we see these things erupt, people feel that their opinions are more important. Everyone's is as important. Let's just be patient and be open and hear everyone.
Yep.
And and let's just be safe out there. All right. So J-Rock, to you, baby.
All right, guys. Well, yeah, I mean, Jerry already hit on what I was going to say, but that's okay, because I have something else I want to say. Definitely over the weekend. It was a big milestone in classic gaming history. For all of you that don't know, me and Matt, we are Tetris freaks. We are fanatics. We aren't that we're okay. We're not the greatest in the world. We don't have a championship under our belts or anything.
But huge fans.
And so over the weekend, honestly, want to take this time to send a shout out to Dog Playing Tetris. Literally the first person to actually get the rebirth level. We've had Blue Scooty, had first Crash, but this is the first where it is actually a rebirth. And if for those of you that don't know, just a quick recap, it's literally going through level 0 all the way and breaking the game to reset to 0. So that's 256 levels.
Damn. Jesus.
Granted, there's a lot of other stuff that that's more in depth, but to make it to rebirth, it is uncanny. It definitely requires a shout out to him.
Yeah.
So I mean, congratulations to him.
That's super cool, man.
An hour and 20 minutes of playing Tetris continuous. So I mean, it's a full movie. It's a full movie right there. But it is going to be. It's one record, one historic moment that definitely requires a little bit of attention. So definitely shout out to him for doing that, for being the first person to make Rebirth. So yeah. So speaking of Rebirth, Halo, come on, Halo Rebirth. It's right there. I'm giving it to you guys. There you go. There you go, Xbox. I'm trying to give you guys business ideas. Anyways, it's that time of night. My man Theo, the champ, the Monopoly champion. Show off that ring and send us off like you do.
All right, everybody. Thank you for taking the time to join us tonight. We really appreciate it. Until next time, TTFN, ta for now.
Good night, everybody.